Solzy, this next one is a little fun. Aliens in South Carolina. Ari Wasserman on Sunday night, I believe it was him that deemed South Carolina having 3 aliens on the roster. Harbor, Stewart, and Sellers are like absolute freaks. Are you seeing aliens in South Carolina? I certainly have been. Kind of wild times around Columbia.
Yeah, it's funny. I had just graduated when Nick Harbor committed to South Carolina. So I was in Virginia at my previous job and did not get to witness, Harbor's freshman year and kind of all of him coming in. Same with Lenoris and Dylan. My first spring practice that I went to this year, once I got back here in January, I remember walking up and seeing, looking up, I'm 6'4" on a good day, and watching Nick and Lenoris and Dylan all walk by me and just looking up, going these are SEC football players. Yeah. These dudes are massive. And not only, you can have a big dude, but he's just not good. These are just that's not who these guys are. They live up to every bit of their measurable. They're phenomenal football players. So yes, there are at least 3 aliens at a minimum in Columbia, with potential for more. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think Fred is kind of sneaking up onto that list. You watch his tape, just freak athletically, not necessarily as gifted size-wise as the rest of those guys, but just different between the lines on the football field. These guys are, essentially the cornerstones of this operation, this athletics department or football team at this point. I think you got to rely on these guys to make plays. And Michael, my question to you is, have we really scratched the ceiling yet?
I don't think so. And I mean, obviously Dylan Stewart had a great freshman year, and I think he'll be an All-American this year. I don't think the sophomore slump will be a thing. Right. I think having Brian Thomas and some other guys on the opposite edge will continue to give him space to kind of operate and make plays. We saw a little bit of that against Virginia Tech. But I think, and I wrote about it a little bit after the game, the fans have been waiting on a deep bomb to Nick Harbor. Yeah. The big plays, he had that 64-yard touchdown catch on Sunday was the biggest play of his career. He had never had 99 any more than 99. This was a career high at 99 receiving yards. His previous career high was 69, 68, I think. This was the second most targets he's ever had in his career. I think it's huge that they got Nick going early. And it's one of those things, we sit here and joke, hey, on NCAA 26, you just call an audible and send Nick on a go and just throw it up to him. And they prove you can do that in real life. Yeah. Granted, obviously in a situational kind of thing, you're not just going to do that every single play, but they proved hey, this is a guy that we're going to do this with, and this probably going to happen at least once a game. So I think in the way that the Nick reacted to his drop pass, the way that he was able to kind of flush it, get on to the next one, I think that's huge from a maturity standpoint. I'm interested to see, I this season pans out, considering, he didn't do track this offseason. This was a full football offseason for him. I think it could be absolutely huge. And to your original question, I know I'm rambling, I don't think we've scratched the surface of that Lenoris Sellers, Nick Harbor, 1-2 punch this season.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. You make a great point there. I was going to bring up the NCAA thing. I feel like everybody and their mother has just hot routed the go route, and as soon as he beats him off the line, Harbor beats him off the line, it's just lob it up. He's going to go get it, right? And yes, you can do it in real life. I feel like we are going to see it, at least once a week. And we'll talk about SC State, some other connections Lenoris has, but it was really good to see the deep bomb. Corbett, the guy who reps my hat everywhere he goes in Columbia. We're also working on merch, by the way, subtle plug there. But everyone was talking. It's we need a deep bomb to Harbor. That's kind of the one thing everyone mentions. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't really, seen the answer. Why can he do it in the video game if he can't do it in real life? Kind of thing. And we finally saw it. So I think it was huge for Nick. And then also, to battle back from, a lot of things taken away from him in that game. The touchdown catch obviously had the drop. For him to battle back and make that play was absolutely huge.
Yeah, shout out to Hunter Beamer, man. Hunter Beamer is the reason that play got called. I don't know if you heard that.
A little bit.
Apparently, they had called that the the play that Nick scored on the post, the 60-yard touchdown, they apparently had run that in practice at some point in preseason, and Lenoris did not throw to Nick on the post. He threw somebody else. And apparently Mike Shula went up to Hunter Beamer and said, go tell Lenoris to throw the post on that. And Hunter went and told Lenoris, and in the words of Shane Beamer, lo and behold, he hit the post and he threw the freaking touchdown. So so shout out to Hunter Beamer. He is indirectly the MVP of the Aflac kickoff game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like we're going to see an Aflac or Geico kickoff game in the future where Hunter Beamer's quarterback is giving Shane the game ball following the right. Like the lineage, it only adds up at this point as involved as Hunter is. I mean, the kid's probably a better head coach than any of us at this point.
I'd be willing to put money on the fact that he could probably coach better than I could.
Yeah, most definitely, especially at this point. We talked about Sellers, talked about Harbor. Stewart, his one sack was just menacing. He went down with a little bit of injury. Looked like it was a little bit worse at the moment, but thank God he's all right. It wasn't listed in the injury report. JT Kira a little bit banged up, but Dylan Stewart, man. I mean, they said he was coming out of camp bigger, better, faster, stronger, and everyone here was just kind of sitting like, are you kidding? Like what we saw from him in his freshman year, like, I don't know if that's possible. And sure enough, here we are, Dylan Stewart leading this defense once again.
Yeah, he looked the part, which I think everyone expected him to look the part. And I think, honestly, I am not to take away from Dylan Stewart. I am more intrigued to see how the rest of the defensive line performs this year than I am to see how Dylan Stewart performs, simply because Dylan Stewart is as advertised and is probably going to come in every single week and make the plays you want him to. I want to see how the rest of that defensive line looks. So, last year it was Kyle Kennard and Dylan Stewart were able to kind of, parlay off of each other. And, if one wasn't having a good game, the other one was, vice versa. So I'm interested to see how Dylan Stewart's success opens up success for other guys on the defensive line. He's going to get double teamed, sometimes even triple teamed probably. That's got to leave somebody to come open from the other side. He is playing the part that we all expected him to play, and I imagine he will continue to get better this season and the rest of his career.
Yeah, absolutely.